So this was going to be $10,000. What did it cost you to build it yourself?
We most of it was around the farm already, so it was just kind of thrown.
Old, different.
We maybe bought
shafts.
some bolts. And,
I think it was probably about $300.
Yeah.
Good job, guys. Good morning.
Good morning.
Here are the early birds. Y'all ready to get to worms?
We're gonna go get some worms. Trying to get it all set up. And there you go. I talked to Ray Tyler and Curtis Stone, but Ray Tyler especially told me that I needed to focus on either vegetables or animals. It was really hard to do both. And I thought that I was, could do it, and well, I couldn't.
You tried.
So what happened was the animals would need something, and you can't let your animals die, so you go do that, and then the vegetable garden suffers. And so, I ended up not being able to do it so well the first year. So this year we tried to focus more on vegetables, learned a whole lot, and this is just the direction we're gonna go until I get this settled, and then I wanna do animals again.
So do you guys turn this every day?
No, not necessarily every day. We're gonna turn it quite a bit right now because we're just starting it, but we turn it when I don't want it to go above 150 degrees because the bacteria and different things change at that temperature stage, and then it might drop drastically, and so we want it to stay at a consistent temperature above 131 degrees. Okay. So we want to turn it before it gets up to 150 or around 150. Turn it again, cool it off a little bit, get moisture in it again, and then restart.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay.
It's steamy out here, Mr. Brown. Steamy.
Just got turned, so it'll take about 3 minutes for it to set.
What do you mean set? So
for the temperature, it takes a second for it to warm up the dial, and then anyway. I don't have a digital one, so.
And did this just get a blast of cool air, so it's cooled off a little bit?
It will have cooled off significantly. It's already up to 90. It's working its way up.
So this was only built a few days ago?
No,
yesterday.
We built it yesterday.
Oh my! And it's already this warm?
Yeah.
Good job, guys.
Yep.
So how fast can you heat up compost? If you get your mix right.
If you have the nitrogen, carbon-nitrogen ratio correct, I'm gonna say you probably have it up to temp in maybe a couple days.
2 or 3 days.
2 or 3 days.
And
once you gotta get the moisture, you gotta get water, and then of course turn it, get air and water, because you're feeding animals, right? It's little microbes, and so it's like taking care of. This is my livestock since I don't have livestock right now. It's my compost critters.
Livestock.
So they need water, air, and you got to give them a little time to get started. As they multiply, that it gets hotter because it just gets active in there.
How do you know how to get your mix right for carbon and nitrogen?
Well, horse manure, if it's from stall cleanings, are typically going to be about right. You want it to be about between 20 and 30 to 1 carbon-nitrogen ratio. It's not really a science. It's going to be. It's not going to be exact science, but you can. There's some charts online that you can look at that'll tell you approximately what different products are, and like a stall cleaning is about 30 to 1.
Oh really?
Is from what I've read. So it's a pretty good mix.
Interesting garden bed system. They've got the beds created on. Come on, we'll go down and see the tractors. Yeah. We got it created on wood chips.
Yes.
Because I guess you're building soil.
Yeah, I want to build soil quickly.
And you were a tree service guy, so you had plenty of wood chips.
I had lots of wood chips.
You put wood chips down, and then you put this compost on top of it and planted into that.
Straight into the compost.
And it's working for you, obviously. Beautiful.
It's working. Yep.
Why create your own compost?
Well, 1, for cost, but 2, it's harder to find a manure-based compost because of well, there's just different issues, but it's harder to find a manure-based compost. And I have a manure source about an hour and a half, or not an hour and a half, a mile and a half away, and I've got my own dump truck, so that I kept from the tree service. So I still had it, so I just went ahead and used it, and I can haul a lot of compost.
Okay, you boys ready to try another tractor?
I think so.
Tell me about this tractor we're gonna do. Or tell me about the one we just did.
So the one we just did is kind of a prototype for a machine that we're wanting to sell.
Okay.
It's a compost turner. We're trying to make it available to small farmers and little market gardeners and stuff.
Okay.
And so that's kind of what we were working on there. This one right here is the first one that Joe and I built. He came to me and said he needed a compost turner, but they were maybe $10,000 or more to buy one.
And that was a cheap Chinese thing that I didn't know how it was going to work.
Right, and so Joe came to me and told me what he was looking for, and so we looked at some videos and pictures and stuff, and so we just threw some stuff together in my shop, and this is what we came up with, and it's all nasty and ugly looking, but it works.
So tell
I
me
have
about that
turned-
excitement level when you came out here and tried it for the first
It
time.
worked pretty good.
It was really cool.
And we had to
well,
make-
we had
to
some
make
tweaks.
We had to make some adjustments just to make it work.
We didn't have enough teeth on there, and so it was going boom, 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 because it was catching the compost wrong. So we had to add some teeth to it. But once we did that, it really ran smoothly. It's done probably about
Maybe 100 tons.
probably 100 tons.
So this was going to be $10,000. What did it cost you to build it
Well,
yourself?
We most of it was around the farm already, so it was just kind of thrown.
Old, different.
We maybe bought
shafts.
some bolts.
I
And,
think it was
and a few
probably
little
about $300.
things. Yeah.
Good job, guys.
Okay, so this right here is just an axle. It's a 3,500 pound axle that we just took and we just bolted onto this tab here, and then we welded into the shaft of the axle on the other side of the bearing. And so this basically gave us some good quality bearings that were cheap, because I was looking at bearings and they were just kind of expensive, and I was on a budget and I didn't really want to spend very much. And so
And
and
they're
it has worked really well. Now, it's not ideal.
They're super heavy-duty bearings.
No, they're great bearings.
Wheel bearings. They're roller bearings, and they're tapered roller bearings. So they're super tough. For
They're
the
just really
application.
tough.
But it's not ideal, but it worked.
It does work. It's not ideal, but it works.
Man, that was awesome. Thank you very much. It's so cool how you're turning a problem into a solution. Compost turner was going to be $10,000. When did it click in your head? You know what? I can do this.
Well, we built this one for Joe. This kind of cobbled up job, and it worked pretty well. And so I got to think, we could make these and actually make them pretty functional and inexpensive for market farmers and people that can't afford the $18,000 or $10,000 of it that's available out on the market. And so we built these with the idea that maybe we can actually produce a product that people can use and afford.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
right now it's just too expensive.
So can folks get these yet?
Well, they can order one if they want to. We have a
Ooh.
Facebook page. It's go to Eco Mixer. Just search Eco Mixer Compost on Facebook. It should
Okay.
come up.
Where'd you get that name, Eco Mixer?
Well, we just kind of made it up, I guess. It's just the idea was to be economical
Oh,
and to deal with ecological issues. And
Oh,
so
nice.
it's kind of a double pun,
Okay.
if you will.
well, I'll link that down in the description
Okay,
as well.
sounds good.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Okay.
Thanks for coming.
Pun.
Breakfast time. You kids enjoying breakfast?
Yep.
Huh?